All right. Good morning to our first session for this 2025, which is under our knowledge program, which comes from an idea from Gita, knowledge is power. So we start with the role of coordinator with one of our veterans of the industry who has been a backbone of eCurious Mind community as well. Over to Ms. Chandray Chaudhary. Please.
Thank you and good morning, Pallavi. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly, firstly.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Your
Happy
screen
New
needs to be
Year.
visible.
It's not visible?
No, not as of now. Hi,
Oh, what are you
Purti.
seeing? What are you seeing? You're seeing,
We're only seeing you and everybody.
oh,
Yeah. Hi, Gitika. Now
now can you
it's there.
see?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. So, good morning once again, and sorry for the glitches here and there. It's a very cold morning here in Gurgaon. So we are thankful to be here, thanks to Pallavi and her strong, convincing powers and getting us all organized and helping us share with each other, right? So I'm fortunate to be part of this group here this morning, to be sharing what has been my experience. And today we are also looking at different places that you can post whatever you see or would like to share with the world. The session today will be, though scheduled at 9:15, it's been revamped to 9:15, and it is the PYP coordinator, the coordinator's role, and what Pallavi says is that knowledge is power, right? And that is what I think every educator in the PYP should be doing. Knowledge and more knowledge. If you are lifelong learners, that's where it will take you to new places. So thank you everyone for being here. There is a second Zoom session in case we overshoot, but I do promise we are not going to go beyond 45, 50 minutes. But just in case, because we may have started early, this session will end in about 40 minutes, and then we have another Zoom link which Pallavi will share. I hope you can hear me clearly. If I'm speaking too fast, please do say.
No, thank you very much. Can you put your slides on the slide share, the PPT share?
It's not moving.
The slide show.
Oh,
It's moving, but the slideshow will give everybody a better view.
okay. I'm going to try again because
And
I've
you're very
got
kind with your
another.
words. Just a change. I have done nothing. It's your community. You all take the onus. So
Okay, what has happened is, can you see my screen? No.
no, not as of now.
Okay, give me a moment.
Sure.
I'm going to remove my
Hi,
second
Jinal.
screen.
Till the time I'll say hi to everybody. Hi, Shrilu. Hi, Lakwinder. Sat Sri Akal.
Hi, Sat Sri Akal. Thank you.
Hi, Fatima.
What do you see now? Please tell me.
We all of us,
Yes,
not the screen.
you is everybody. You is everyone. Can you see the screen? No.
No.
Oh dear. Hold
Hi.
on.
Hi, Ruchi. Can we have the background as eCurious Mind, please? Hi, Rakhi. Same for you,
Yeah,
Fatima.
sure, dear.
Thank you, Lakwinder. Can we
I'll
change
do
the
it in a
background,
minute.
please?
Yes, yes.
Another check, please. Is it okay?
Yes, but it is still
The,
on the PPT mode,
now?
not the slideshow. Yes, now it is. Thank you so much. Perfect.
Okay.
Lovely.
So here we are. Sorry, people.
No,
All right.
thank you.
So the agenda today, based on the questions that you've put forth in the Padlet and also with my experience as to what the role of a PYP coordinator is, I've put down these points. We look at the key responsibilities, wherein the PYP coordinator collaborates with teachers and staff, curriculum implementation and how the curriculum may be monitored, how can student learning and well-being be supported in this role, as well as engaging with parents and community as we talk about a school, right? So in a school, each and every member of the community is placed specially to support the learners, and of course, the component of professional development. Other than that, I've put together some thoughts on the challenges faced by PYP coordinators, some best practices, some case studies, as well as future trends in PYP coordination. And of course, we look at some conclusions and takeaways. So, what do you think is the understanding that you have regarding the role of a PYP coordinator? It's not full screen?
It is,
No.
but it's not like all our sessions.
Oh, I don't know why then.
Anyway, I'll try and figure it out.
Yeah, it's full screen for me.
Yes.
Okay. So definition of a PYP coordinator, you can post your answers in the chat. But while you are defining the role of the PYP coordinator, think about the importance in IB schools. So if you are referring to point 1, please prefix your answer with point 1 or point 2 or point 3. So it is going to be an interactive session, right? So I hope to see more answers and more prompts coming in from your side in the chat, your views, and think about the what, why, and how. So Pallavi, please share if you're seeing something.
Not as of now. One or two can speak as well till the time
Yes.
the rest are talking, rest are typing. Okay, I'll start then. I think PYP
Yes.
is the backbone and the backbone of the program. Okay, we
Yes,
have one.
backbone of the
Provides
program.
leadership and guidance to teachers in understanding and implementing the PYP framework. Shweta, I request everybody to please switch on their cameras. We are 24. I want to see all 24. It's a happy new year to everybody. So please put your cameras on. I don't want to give them reminders.
Hi, I am actually not able to put the background. That's why I just switched off my camera.
No problem. Just switch on the camera.
Okay, that's
Humaira
fine.
says PYPC is the GPS of any school. What is GPS, Humaira? I have no idea. GPS, okay. You're right. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's an interesting metaphor, if one may say so. Yes. Others?
That's Humaira for us.
Good morning, ma'am. Can I answer? This
Yes,
is
Yes,
Sri
please. Go ahead,
Yes.
Sri Lakshmi.
So when I heard GPS, because the first thing which came into my mind, because I'm from a science background, is the PYP coordinator is the nucleus of the cell. So,
Yes,
so I was
it
very
could be
happy
a
that.
I think,
Sorry.
I think the PYP coordinator is basically a mentor, a go-to person where I think where the team goes for guidance, for motivation, for, it's basically a mentor over there, an approachable mentor we can go to anytime.
Okay, I
all
would
right.
like to
Thank
share.
you.
This is Sonam this side. Good morning, everybody.
Good
So,
morning.
with reference to my past mentors, I believe that PYP coordinator is the heart of PYP program in any school, and a person who is very open to discussions, open and has a welcoming smile for teachers, for children, for parents. And the stronger the community is when you have a transparent, kind of approach, and you are very approachable person as such. So, and also, of course, the mentor for the teachers to guide them, to their professional development. Also, a person who will be willing, who is flexible and willing to listen to everybody with an open mind. Thank you.
We have some responses in the chat box.
Yes, some more coming in. Someone
Yes.
says thank you to those who have spoken. And also someone says PYPC is a lighthouse to guide and show the path. So thank you, everyone. This is just to start thinking about the role of the PYP coordinator. Okay, let's move ahead. So I would say, that what you all have just mentioned here, that the PYP coordinator is someone who plays a pivotal role, leading the implementation of the PYP, talks about, the promoting of a comprehensive education program at the school, is also responsible for leading the implementation program, talking about the curriculum framework. And what's most important is someone who supports inquiry and agency, right? So, and while we talk about the role and the person and their importance in the IB school, I would like to add here that the PYP coordinator is the agent of change, and you will understand why. I believe that there are people here who have joined us from a school which may be a candidate school or someone who's in the process of evaluation. The PYP coordinator is the one who facilitates this change by taking the community along. And that's whatever I speak is my own experience. And therefore, what I say, please understand and don't quote me saying that Chandray said this, but this is from my own experience and it is what it is. And I've had the role since 2009, where I was an assistant PYP coordinator and a full-time coordinator from 2013. So talking about the importance as well, the principles and the practices of the IB have to be woven into the fabric of the school culture. And therefore, that in itself is a big role and importance that an IB school places on the PYP coordinator and also the learning environment. You must also understand that as a role, which is a leadership role, the PYP coordinator nurtures the school's commitment to international, not internally, correction there, internationally minded students. And that is the core of the philosophy. So when we talk about general responsibilities, yes, it's curriculum, it is staff development, assessments, student outcomes to help children develop and grow in their uniqueness, in their own ways. How are you monitoring that within the IB framework and making those community connections? So a big role, big responsibility, all that you said, nucleus, lighthouse. I think the PYP coordinator is that special person and you should believe you are here for a purpose. Okay, so that's where we are.
Chandra,
And
it also resonates with our community belief of be the change to bring the change.
absolutely. So you are the agents of change and, take your time, think about what needs to be done within the school context and make that happen. That's what I would say as an old timer. Well, as we talk about, the collaboration with teachers and staff, the basic thing is how are you fostering those dynamics within the team? The dynamics to do exactly what your role is all about. You cannot do it alone. You need to have your team, you need to have your staff working with you. Just like we said, you've got to need to build relationships, a trust-based relationship, which is crucial for establishing a collaborative culture, and also relationships which is encouraged to share the responsibility of student learning and well-being. You alone cannot do. Do they understand that when you have that relationship through mentoring, through coaching, through all these things that we talked about, talking about what is the expectation for an IB school to implement the PYP or run it, and or even for that matter, bring about change in the school. Facilitating professional development. So professional development can be of various types, right? It can be within a school. It is a community like this. When you're learning from others, you are learning from networks. We're learning from teachers of other schools, and of course, professional IB workshops, as well as other related workshops. So as a PYP coordinator, you need to think about what could be these professional learning opportunities, identify them based on the needs of the school. I saw a question that where do you start when teachers are at different levels? You need to differentiate. Just like in your classroom, you will differentiate learning, you need to differentiate your PD as well. I worked at a school where we did differentiated PD as well, right? Give teachers who are experienced the agency of leading those who are newer or who need a specific role purpose, right? So organizing those training sessions is something that you need to think about, providing resources to equip teachers from time to time, guiding them to my IB and access, my IB access, because IB resources are the best, right? So thinking about different strategies wherein they have an opportunity to grow professionally. And that's the magic of the PYP, because you have so many opportunities to grow, to learn, to develop yourselves professionally, and you can be that person to help teachers facilitate professional development, learning on their own, and nurturing that as well. Team meetings and communication. very interesting. Regular team meetings should be organized to facilitate open communication and collaboration. As PYP coordinators, you should have your own timetable. What time does your morning start? What do you do? If I were to talk about my timetable, I would say that I would meet the homeroom teachers during the week. I would meet the specialist teachers. I was at a small school, so I had an opportunity to meet everybody during the week. Working with grade groups, working only with across school head homeroom teachers, working only with visual art and performing art teachers, working with the leadership for collaboration. So fill out your timetable and see. And then I think, I don't know, maybe that's who I am. My timetable also had class visits, so I could monitor learning, as well as when I monitor learning or visit classrooms as a support teacher, I could communicate what I see with the teachers when I met them in the collaborative meetings. Other than that, communication important, because what you need to plan to talk to teachers, what would be a PD opportunity in the week for everybody, thinking about all of that would go into your schedule, including looking at documentation. I had a question about what do you do about documentation? Set aside time in a week so that you're not burdened in the end. Look, just reading planners or reading some communication, reading some documents, because you too need to grow professionally, isn't it? So think about all of that when you plan your team meetings and how you communicate. So the collaborative timetable can be shared with teachers so everybody knows where you are at 9:15. You are meeting with the art teachers, for example. So that half an hour is the effective time that you really spend. It's very important, not just for the art teachers and yourself, but also the entire school, because there is some meaningful work happening. Minuting those meetings, looking at the reflection out of that meeting is very important. You may meet, you may minute it, but what happened after the meeting? Have those opportunities for that feedback and reflection. Okay, let's look at another aspect, the curriculum implementation and monitoring. What's important is to ensure the fidelity of the PYP framework. This is the PYP framework. How are the children growing in their attributes of the learner profile? How are you inculcating the international mindedness? How are the different subjects contributing to the transdisciplinary nature of the program? Are you being able to follow the framework? And most importantly, monitoring teaching practices. I'm sure all of you have lesson plans. How are those lesson plans made? Are they conceptual in nature? Very important. Conceptual understandings. What are your learning outcomes? What are you assessing? And some principles which we have learned from others, the KUD practice. Does the lesson plan talk about knowledge? Does it talk about what students will understand? And of course, what they can do with the learning. And most importantly, how is this plan differentiated for every day? And how may you be able to support? It's not just a plan, it's a plan which may need support from yourself as the PYP coordinator, or maybe from others in the cohort in that grade level or subject group. So looking at all of that and monitoring teaching practices, not because what's delivered, but what is delivered is understood. What is delivered is taking on new learning and helping children move to new understandings. And of course, what can they do with the learning? The why of the learning. Is that happening? It's not about this is your lesson plan and this is what happened, but the lesson plan should be able to do that in the classroom. So a lot of teachers, I did have, which my teachers didn't know. I had a formal list, which I would make note of, but that is how I would be in the classrooms, talking to them, seeing student work, talking to students, which is very important, also to know how learning is happening. Moving on, the third point, which is ensuring alignment with the IB standards. Take a minute as PYP coordinators to go through the IB standards and identify what are those practices which are directly connected with curriculum implementation and monitoring. One for sure is international mindedness. Okay, where does it come? It comes in purpose. If you talk about environment, how is the environment supporting the learning process? And if I want to talk about learning, In learning, you have the approaches to teaching. Are you adhering to the fidelity of the framework as well as aligning with the IB standards? Those are your checklists. What is the practice that you are working on? What is the practice at the school where you are strong? Where is the practice which needs more development? So these are guidelines for yourself following the IB standards. And as you look at the IB image, who is in the center? What is in the center? Both of them. What is it? Voices?
Learner is in the
Learner.
center.
Learner. So whatever
Learner.
you are doing, don't think as a responsibility. I think it's the most noble task to encourage a school to move towards helping students, learners learn. Okay, so that is what we do. We make sure that everybody works towards the learning process so that it directly connects with the learner. So yes, when you talk about the learner, what kind of support does student learning and well-being need? That is what you need to identify. So when you are meeting with your teachers regularly, when you are meeting one-to-one with teachers regularly, when you are connecting with them informally as well, maybe in the corridor, hi, how's Pallavi doing today? Did she read well? You know, those kind of questions, just those informal chats also help. Or is she happy today? Did she come to school with a smile? Does it always have to be academic? No. So thinking about an inclusive learning environment, it has to be student-centered, just like we said, promoting inclusivity as well as addressing diverse learning needs. So what strategies do you have in place to promote all of this? Importance is that of an instructional strategy for the PYP coordinator that encourages student voice, choice, and agency. That's the student-centered approach. So in my school, I don't know if it still happens, but we used to have something called an agentic day where students planned their activities. Students did lots of interesting things. The student leaders, the student council was given that free way. But then is it they could do anything? We had to guide them initially, and then they know what has to be done. So they would hold sessions, whether it's a dance, Bharatnatyam, cooking, 1 hour, and even teachers joined. I remember teachers joined the Bharatnatyam session as well, where, you know, so it also what we had this Korean child who used to be very shy, and she came forward, of course, with some encouragement to do some origami. And when she conducted that origami session, it did magic for her confidence. So thinking about what are those inclusive practices will be interesting. Ensuring that students' diverse abilities and cultural backgrounds are valued, supported, and most importantly, looking at encouraging equitable learning opportunities for everybody. So strategic interventions, when will that happen? How will that happen? Differentiating instructions, and for that you can enable all learners to thrive, not just academically, but also emotionally. These also are very important aspects. There was someone who did pose a question about the well-being of students. So we have 10 minutes. However, there is another link which you can join in case this closes. This is not a paid Zoom link. So kindly be aware, and it will be posted in the WhatsApp group, is what Pallavi tells me.
I have
Or
already posted.
okay, thank you, Pallavi.
You're welcome.
Moving on. I hope everyone's comfortable and all okay so far.
Yes. Thank you. It's
Thank
very
you.
deep and it's very good.
Okay, let's see what else we need to do as PYP coordinators. Engaging with parents and the community, because it's not just you. There is a partnership with parents, partnership with the school, partnership the partnership with the community, because we say that everything is learner focused. So effective engagement with parents that involve, you know, certain communication strategies. How will you communicate to parents to keep them informed, the families informed, the guardians informed? How will you be involved in this? How will you invest time so that parents understand their involvement and investment in their child's education? And how can you encourage that open dialogue between home and school? Because that's so important. It may not be you always directly, but via the via the teacher, the homeroom teachers, but then being aware of all of that. When you talk about building the partnerships, it's about meaningful partnerships, not just about community members, but also some local organizations, because they may help in enriching the educational experience. And because that's so well needed, because students need to understand what they learn and how that learning is connected to the real world learning opportunities. When you involve parents in education, you can create different avenues where they can support the learning community. They can contribute to children's learning and development, not just by, focusing on their child, but sharing expertise, sharing links, sharing ideas. Also, I mean, that's a dream that I always have, to get them to create central ideas when they know how the program works in a parent workshop, maybe. And also strengthening these things, habits, these practices will actually strengthen the school's educational ecosystem. A thought there: if anyone tries to get parents to create central ideas or co-construct them with you, just let me know. I would be interested to know how that happened.
I think it would be very interesting when you have those these well, not the informal meetings, the orientation as a
Yes, get them to think
yes.
about it. Yes, yes.
I remember in
It
the
could be
last
something.
session when what we did with Vandana, she also got parents to review POI.
Yes, yes, definitely. Even we did that with the time of evaluation, so that parents also
Lovely.
have their say. Yeah, but I've
Mm.
never got them to co-construct the central idea. Maybe something, if someone tries, I'll be happy to hear. So basically, when you engage parents in the wider community, it is essential in many ways for the depth and the breadth of the educational experience. So the role of the PYP coordinator in effective communication, partnership building, and parental involvement ensures that the learning journey is a collaborative effort, because it benefits whom? Student success and their well-being.
Chandra,
So we
Sapna
talk,
shares. Sorry to interrupt. Sapna,
yes,
please share your experience. She says we co-constructed the central idea through unbundling engagement in coffee mornings. Would you like to share your
very
experience?
nice.
Hi, good morning.
Good
Sorry,
morning.
my camera was off for some time since we are working. So we had these coffee mornings where parents come in to know what is going to happen in the next unit, or probably what are they going to do. So we had tables arranged, and we had groups. So we had a projector, and we had projected all different highlights, the words, and they had to co-construct the central idea for the coming unit. So when we talk about the theme, the TD theme, in that they have a descriptor. So from that descriptor, all the parents looking at the highlighted words, we give a word bank, and they had to create the central idea, which went off well. And they were very, very excited to share each one. And same thing happens in a classroom when grade 5, they look at the TD descriptor and what is the keywords, what are the keywords we are highlighting. And in groups, we create the central idea. We do not reveal it out. And then um, when we reveal it out, which is nearer and which is slightly here and there, and that's how they come to know how to co-construct the central idea. Yes,
Wonderful.
Ms. Chandrai.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Sapna.
so
That's
much. Thank
very,
you,
yeah.
Pallavi.
You're
So
welcome.
that's
Yes.
really nice. And I'm sure, grade 5 has that wonderful opportunity. But when we talk of co-constructing, maybe why don't you be risk takers and extend it to other grades as well? Because with grade 5, then they're better equipped when they come for their exhibition, because they've experienced it before, right? So well done.
So
And
I would,
I
yes,
would want to
sorry,
add something
Miss
here.
Pallavi,
Sorry,
yes,
I would
Gitika,
like
this.
to add. Uh, so we had grade 5 co-constructing the central idea with grade 1, grade 3. So we had that
nice.
local to global, so looking at equity,
Wow.
equality. So we had done that last year. So thank you for bringing it out. And I just remembered, so to add on that.
I know in last
Thank you
Nice.
so
session, whatever
much.
Nisha Wahi was saying, before she
Uh,
could say, she was typing. Sapna was typing.
Oh,
So that's the power of mentoring.
oh
Yes,
my
yes.
God. Yes, Miss
Yeah,
Wahi, thank you.
thank. Yeah,
Can I
who
come
wants
in
to
here?
speak? Yes, please.
I
Can
think
I come in?
Geetika is waiting. Yes, Geetika,
Okay,
go ahead.
sorry.
Yeah, we'll take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I would just want to add here. So, 2 years back, we did that in my previous school. What we did was we introduced the unit through 4 pictures. So there were just 4 pictures, and they had to guess the picture and what the unit was about. And then we gave them a small checklist and a word bank to play around and create a central idea. So that was very interesting because different perspectives came in. And when those perspectives came in afterwards, when as a team we were looking at those central ideas and the statements the parents had created, it was really interesting to see that we also got a different perspective from them. Like, I remember 4 pictures were, so there were 4 groups. So one group had a unit from one of the grades which was on materials. So all the pictures were related to materials. The other was on resources, renewable, non-renewable. So 4 groups working on 4 different central ideas with a checklist to see that if it is meeting the criteria. That was really, really interesting. And parents got a lot of, while we were moving around and listening to their conversations. So some of them were talking about properties of material. The others were talking about the focus of usage of material, distribution of material. So it was very, very interesting. And we got from good, like 3, 4 central ideas from each table. And then we projected the unit that the children are going to focus on. But that was the way wherein, we also got a lot of inputs from the parent community to kind of reflect on our POI also.
Wow.
Yes, yes. And as you said, Gitika, it's something that involves parental understanding of the program and also the
Yes.
journey of the school, right? So with a
Yes.
new school, if you start talking about a central idea and how, it may take time. So yes, it's some very good examples, some milestones that you can all look forward to. Yes, Seema, you wanted
Thank
to say
you.
something? We have less than a minute. Please do join
Yes,
back
yes.
in the other link. Yes.
Yes, yes. I just wanted to add to what Geetika said. We also show them pictures because in grade 2, they're very young. So for them to, but what we actually did, because some of the words in the central idea are difficult for them. So we made little word webs where we wrote the word and we asked them, what words come to your mind when you think of this word? So what happened?